Number 20, Ancient Scroll. This one is a graphic score. I tried my hand at making a graphic score, and I'm pretty proud of it. It's pretty. So let's share the screen. Here is the graphic score. There's obviously no play along for this one. It's just an improv etude. And the best part is there's no right answer. So if you ever wanted to dip your toes into improvisation, but you don't really like reading chords, or whatever the reason, you can just go crazy with this one. Some ways to approach this. Notice that there are symbols on the page that sort of resemble music notation, but they're not actually music notation. For example, this looks a little bit like a note head. This kind of looks like a note head. It's a bit square. This one is starting to look more like a hockey stick, but you could imagine it's some sort of note. So they go up and they go down. There's a center line. Maybe that is sort of the staff representation. And there's some symbols that we recognize, like a fermata here. Maybe there's these lines here. Maybe that represents some kind of fast activity. Maybe this one is like another tremolo type deal. And then there's a bunch of symbols that really don't have anything to do with common music notation as we know it. So what you can do is you can just be very literal about the placement of these symbols on the page. That's the first thing. So maybe we start with a medium high note. Maybe we go to a medium low note. And you can decide, what does that X head mean? Does it mean it's a scratch tone? That would be fine. You could just decide that. And then this up here, maybe this is a pretty high note. Maybe this is a very high note. And what does the square mean? Maybe the square means it's beautiful. I don't know. It's up to you. This is us being very literal and assigning every single symbol on the page with a sound. You can even just write it out if you wanted to. So that's being very literal about it. And you can do that for everything in here. The other idea is to be a little bit more sort of mood oriented, not looking necessarily to play every single symbol or marking on the page, but what does this collection, for example, what does line staff number 1 mean in terms of mood? Is it really aggressive and energetic? Is it laid back? Is it spacious and weird? What are we trying to feel there? And how can we make that appear in our sound? Notice that line 2, we have a bit of a marking theme. There's a lot of dots and circles. So you could decide that that means something. Maybe it's the same type of sound. For example, when I look at this, I'm sort of drawn to either fast short notes or maybe pizzicato or collegno. It sort of looks like a smattering of sounds. And how you assign those sounds, up to you. And to me, these large rectangles that you can find at the end of this line, you can find all throughout here. To me, that's more like blocks of sound. So long sustains. Maybe you've decided that the lighter shades are softer and the darker shades are louder. Maybe you've decided that the outlined ones have a sort of a strong articulation to them. Really, it's up to you, however you want to do this. I have not made a demo of this one yet. I might make several because there's just so much you can do with this. And similarly with the last line, there's sort of a movement theme, straight lines all gathered together. Some kind of symbol, it looks like maybe all this stuff got transformed into this stuff. What happens here? I don't know. Is it a rest? Do we warp? Again, it's up to you. So those are just some ideas on how to get started with free improvisation on a graphic score. If you have any questions, you can email nick@nickravel.com, or you can come to a Zoom cafe where we can hang out, play some etudes together, and you can ask me anything. You can register for that at nickravel.com/hero levels. See you in the next one.